Well, hello. Um, this is going to be the first video in my series of explaining my experiences and knowledge of the Lotro music system and the MIDI sequencer and um, all the goodness that comes with creating music for Lord of the Rings. So I'm going to start off this one with who am I? Well, um, my real name is Shannon. I am from Texas. Uh, I am known in the game as Evalor, who is the band leader of Bards of Valinor. I've been creating music and playing in Lord of the Rings since closed beta about 16 years ago. I've told this story several times. Back before ABC was a thing, um, I would take a MIDI sequencer, and that particular time it was Anvil Studio, and I used a virtual MIDI port to port it to a software called MIDI the number two key. And of course, what that did was is it turned digital music notes into keystrokes, and of course, you could go in and set it up. At that particular time, the Lotro music system only had um, one octave that you could work in, and uh, you had to go through all the notes, the musical notations, and equate them to a keystroke. Um, the problem that you had back then with emulating a keyboard or playing on a keyboard was the limitation of the speed of the notes that would go through. A lot of the songs you had to slow down the tempo, um, and of course all the rules that apply. Uh, and in order for me to play a duet, I had to have two computers with all of that set up, and and then try to synchronize the playing of the MIDI files on two different computers at the same time. It was an interesting concept. Uh, it worked. It was fun, and then of course ABC came out. Of course, that didn't have the band feature at the time, so I still used the sequencer. But of course, eventually the band came out, and there were several different tools that would convert MIDI files into ABC files, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to get too deep in the weeds on that, but suffice to say, I've been doing this a long time. And so the what? What I want to do, what my purpose is for these videos is I want to pass on knowledge that I have to anyone who wants to learn, be it someone who's done this for a while or someone who's just getting into it. Um, it's an overwhelming task to to jump into this head first, um, and I figured that if I could do something to make things a little easier for someone trying to get into it, or maybe have someone able to learn some tips and tricks uh, within Maestro or within whatever MIDI sequencer that you decide to use. Um, the the easier it would be for you to for a person to improve their music. I've been uh, told many times over the years how clean, and I use the word clean myself, uh, the music I play sounds. And that has a lot to do with editing um, the MIDI. It has a lot to do with understanding the rules that apply to the Lotro music system, etc. Now, I want to be perfectly clear. I am not an expert. I can read music. I'm not an expert at it. Um, I'm horrible at playing instruments. Uh, when I was younger, I played a little bit, played bass, did a little keyboard, violin, but I mediocre at best. I don't want to paint myself as some kind of musical genius because I assure you, I'm far from it. uh, I have developed my own way of editing music by sight, and it's just faster to me than trying to. If I was proficient at reading the music as a professional musician, if I could go through and create music um, from scratch by myself, I probably would be able to go in and do all kinds of stuff. And I'm not saying I can't do those things, but if I did, it would take me forever. All the music, all the original pieces that I've created, um, I have had done for me or I assisted in doing, and it was not me alone doing that. It would be awesome if I could, but unfortunately, I'm not that good, and I don't have that kind of education in music. Um, I'm sure if you're on Crick Hollow, you know who Halo Halamar is. He has a musical degree. He is extremely talented at creating music, helping you understand music, and you will notice on my Discord that he has a channel in here where he teaches very basic music um, rules and theory. Um, it's designed to get your feet wet. You're not going to get a degree off of it, but it's a good stepping off point if you're wanting to understand the basics of music theory. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to come in and do the same thing, but I wanted to do it from a Lord of the Rings rules um, and using the sequencer and using the maestro side. um, Halo has no idea how to do all that, or if he does, it's very basic. He's not really interested in it, in any of that. So I don't, you know, that that makes perfect sense. But from from his side of the world, uh, he plays by the real rules of instruments and notes and octaves, etc. Once we get it in our hands to create music for Lord of the Rings, a lot of that goes out the window. There are things that the instruments in Lord of the Rings will do that cannot happen outside of Lord of the Rings. There are things that um, the musical instruments inside of Lord of the Rings that will not do. Um, so understanding the all these different details and understanding how to edit music to uh, take advantage of those details is a is a really good asset if you want to create cleaner music, want your music to sound better. And so, anyway, I've rambled on too much about that, but the point of this is I want to pass on knowledge from from my experiencing editing and creating, and that's pretty much it. um, and that pretty much covers the why as well. So I'm gonna try to keep the videos relatively short. I make no promises. A lot of this is going to be detailed, so I'll try to break this down into chunks that are small. No one wants to sit down behind a 2 hour video, even an hour video. So I would like to break it down into pieces that you could spend, 15, 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes and go through. But again, some of these some of these videos may take longer than that to express all the detail, and I'll try to keep it as minimal as possible. And hopefully you'll get something from it. But again, I am no expert at this. I am not the be all end all. And one of the other things that I want to get across perfectly clear. Um, Everyone that I talk to about helping them with music, or they're always concerned about um, not wanting to sound like me. And that's great because I don't want you to sound like me. I want you to sound like you. Um, I've seen a lot of people on a lot of different servers, and I'm on all 10 free to play. Um, they have this superiority attitude that they know everything and they want to train people. And what they basically do is they're teaching people how to sound like them. And I don't want to do that. Not that if you follow what I'm showing you won't make you sound more like me, but I'm not showing it to you so that you copy what I'm doing. I'm showing it to you so that you can learn how to edit and the different tips and tricks and things that you can do to get specific sounds. So you can use this to get any sound you want. You don't have to follow what I'm doing to mimic me. And I would rather you didn't. I enjoy what I do. I have for a long time I had a 12 piece, and then I created a 24 piece orchestra, and now I'm up to a 16 piece normal and a 24 piece orchestra. I don't pull the 24 piece out very often because it's incredibly hard to run all 24 characters myself. Now, I have developed a program that loads the songs and the instruments and all that stuff, and you may or may not have heard of it. I'm still working on that. I'm trying to develop it, but I'm much like in the music field. I'm an amateur developer in C sharp. I'm definitely not an expert, and I require or uh, no, yeah, I require help from someone that knows more than I do. And uh, I had a professor that I hired for private to as a private tutor, and he was teaching me and helping me at the same time. But unfortunately, he was more interested in playing World of Warcraft than making money. Uh, and so I'm having to find someone else, which I think I have. And I'll get back into that, and I'll eventually get this software out. But unfortunately, it's not free. I don't make any money off of it, but the .NET application that I'm writing works on top of uh, IS Boxer, which is a multi-box program. And unfortunately, there is a subscription to utilize IS Boxer, and so it's not expensive. It's really cheap. It's like $5 a month, something like that. Um, $10 if you buy 3 months or so. I don't, there's a lot of sales that go on $5 off, so you can pretty much get it $10 3 months a lot, or if you do for a whole year, you get a real good deal on it. If you're on my Discord, which you probably are if you're watching this, um, the there are sales that go on all the time, and they'll be posted in my Discord. So anyway, um, so I'm not going to ramble on anymore about who I am and what I want to do. I'm just going to start putting out videos, and we're going to start with the simplistics of things, and then we'll move up to the advanced, and hopefully you get something out of it. So thanks for watching.